Yes. Shout out. Clearly a reskin. No, but yeah, College Football 26, totally a reskin of College Football 25. Now, just being honest, I did kind of expect that, which wasn't going to be a huge issue for me because 25 was a pretty solid game, in my opinion. It was a good foundation. There were a lot of criticisms towards it, and it was mostly valid. But I do think the game was super solid compared to what we got in Madden. Like, College Football 25 was just way better than Madden 25. And honestly, that's probably like people are like hyping up Madden 26 because of College Ball 26 kind of disastrous launch. I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. Like, I really think that Madden 26 is gonna be probably the biggest disappointment in all of sports gaming in like the past 5 years. Like, they're hyping it up so much. This is a prediction I'm gonna make. I think that like those, when they said that they're gonna do like they'll have the halftime cutscenes or they'll show the scores and highlights. I really think what those highlights are going to be, it's going to be like that really stupid camera angle from the end zone. And it's going to show like 3 or 5 scripted like sequences where it just shows someone running into the end zone. And then, what's his name? Scott Hansen. He's going to be like, oh, and he scored a touchdown. The Eagles are up by 10 at half. It's going to be like that. It's going to be something like that. It's not going to show like the full play and like the broadcast angle. It's going to show like the stupid highlight angle from like the end zone where you really have no context of what's happening. And if I'm wrong, I'll give away a copy of Madden or college football. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So we'll revisit. Anyways, this is about College Football 26. Okay. So also, first of all, thank you for all the feedback you guys have given me in the comments on my last video. I also have been doing a little bit of a Dynasty with Old Dominions and Online Dynasty. If you want to watch it, it's there. But obviously my other video where I talked about why College Football 26 is frustrating, a lot of you guys were sounding off. And I thank you for all your guys' anecdotes and stories and thoughts and also feedback from me. Like, I know there were some people that were a little critical of me saying being critical of the game or not critical enough. In the end, everyone has their own opinions and thoughts. Like, everyone has their own perspective. And most of the comments were pretty respectful of each other. There were a little bit of a back and forth, but can't really complain. Like, overall, it was a pretty good discussion. So I absolutely appreciate all your guys' feedback. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the big issues with 26 is the fact that it's an unfinished game. Like, if there were like stunts and twists, let's just talk about that. Stunts and twists like didn't work for like a few weeks. Like, that was a main feature of the gameplay, and you couldn't even make it work from from when you're calling the play. Like, that's a big part of the game. Like, how is that not like fixed? Like, there's so many things that were broken and bugged. Like the Dynasty, like so many rain games. Do y'all playtest? Like, I know the game was playtested, because God forbid if it wasn't playtested at all, it would have been even worse. Clearly the game was rushed, not finished. And I think it's the problem of EA corporate, not necessarily the devs themselves, because the devs clearly didn't have enough time to finish it. I don't think any developer wants to push a game that is not finished, because it's going to reflect on them. Like, there's probably devs, and if you're a dev and you're watching this, you're probably frustrated. You're like, yeah, I want to fix this. I didn't want to push a game that wasn't complete. I get it. Totally get it. That's why games like GTA 6 keeps getting delayed, because God forbid if that game comes out and it's a buggy mess, people really call it the biggest disappointment ever. Like, the first impression is so huge when it comes to these games. Like, if the game comes out and it's a buggy mess, even if they fix it after like a week, people are already gonna be turned off to it. Like, I had a buddy who played the game like with me like a week after it came out, and we got like 2 straight desyncs, and he's like, all right, I'm not playing anymore. Like, this game sucks. Like, that's like, people are gonna play the game, have bugs, and not play it again. And that's the problem, because they're gonna miss out on like some of the cool features in Dynasty if you get to that point. If you can play a full game without it crashing. Now, that's the problem. It's like, the first impressions really matter a lot when these games. You can't have a game crash. You can't have a game bug out like crazy. Again, these are just things that it's like the attention to detail, like polishing. It doesn't have that polish, and that's what really makes the Like when you look at a lot of these reviews from like Soft Drink TV and Angry Joe, like a lot of it's either things that didn't get fixed from 25 and new bugs. So old and new stuff. Like Angry Joe, like he made a big thing about like if you're doing a team builder team, you can't both play on the same team, like in a dynasty. Like why can't you do that? Why can't you use team builder teams in offline dynasties? It makes zero sense to me. If you download the team to your console, you should be able to use it in offline mode. You can use it in Play Now, thankfully, but like why can't you use it in an offline dynasty? Like so your friend can play with you. Or in an online dynasty, why can't your friend play with you? It's your own dynasty. Let you do that. Like I totally get if you're doing like a league with 30 people, like you don't want your friend to be able to come in and play with you. That's fine. Make that a setting. Make it a setting. And then also the issue of not being able to jump into like any game you want in your own dynasty. Again, it's your dynasty. You're the god of that dynasty. You control everything. If Florida State is 5-6 and they're going to go play Florida, and I'm doing a dynasty with like Kentucky or something, but I still want to see Florida State beat Florida. You could do the stupid thing and force win so that no matter what, it's going to always pick Florida State to win through the sim. But why not like let me play the game? Like jump into it. Let's see who the players are. Let's see are there any major injuries? Like who are the breakout stars for Florida State? Like kind of jump into that snapshot, like that place and time. And that was one of the coolest things in NCAA 14 because you could almost like jump into someone else's world and be like, let's see how Tennessee's doing when they're about to play Alabama. Like how is everything going for them? Is like their season doing well? Like do you want me to, my cats are running around. Like, can I turn around their season with a big win against Alabama? Like, let me do that. Let me create my own storylines being able to play the game. And I like that in NCAA 14 when I could go in and play the game because it made me earn that result. Like, yeah, I could force wins. Like, I could force a win for one team or the other. And it's cool for, like, doing, you know, like, sim stuff, like trying to set up a scenario. Like, you purposely want to start off 0-6 and try to make your way to a bowl game or whatever. Like, that's cool. That's a thing. Like, I think that is a decent feature. But again, why not just let us jump into this game? Like, I don't see why this is not a feature. Like, I almost want to make a series of, I like called EA Please Fix, where it's just like short videos of just EA Please patch this in. There's so many bugs with the game. Like, game was crashing. I was playing a dynasty with team builder teams, and again, that shouldn't be happening. Or too many rain games. Like, I had my buddy who we were doing an online dynasty. He would have to back out and join back into his game like 5 different times to not get a rain game. And look, I'm not trying to say that rain games are bad. Like, I do think that's part of football. Like, weather is random, but it shouldn't be every single game. Because the fact is that because we have no dynamic weather, if it's raining for the whole game. And if it's a torrential downpour, it's going to be like that the whole game. So, like, if they made the weather dynamic and the rain can just stop after the first quarter or the second quarter, maybe people would be less likely to back out of a rain game because at least maybe the rain might stop. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll keep going. But at least, like, they have that possibility, and at least they'll see it through. And then, like, Road to Glory. Like, Road to Glory, like, the AI, like, your teammates are so bad. Like, they're so bad. I was doing a Road to Glory as a running back, and my quarterback would miss every throw. And if I was blocking, he would always get sacked or something like that. Or my offensive line just won't block for me. The thing with Road to Glory, and when you're in high school, like, they miss the point of, like, I don't, like, the moments is interesting. Maybe have those moments, but still let us play longer games. Give us the option to play a full game. I think that should be, like, I don't know why they decided to go with that model. I think they were saying because they wanted it to be a streamlined experience. But the biggest issue when you're doing these kinds of moments is that you don't care about the score. You don't care about if you win the game. You care about if you do a stiff arm or not. Because, like, you could get a 50-yard run, but if you didn't do a stiff arm, you're going to be dropping. You're going to be dropping in the rankings. You know, I do like how you can rise up and fall in the rankings, but it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And I know MMG, like, made a video saying, I'm just not doing high school at all. which is crazy. Like, you're just skipping that whole point. Like, I thought the recruiting process was cool, like how you can get offers and how offers have different boosts aside with it, and how you can see like how other teams are doing. Like, that is cool. But the fact is like, it's not gonna matter, because when you actually have to play the games, like, unless you drop it to freshmen, it's not the real high school experience. Like, even 3-star recruits, 3-star recruits, 2-star recruits, even if you're going D1, you're going to be destroying everyone in high school, unless you're playing at a prep school, which maybe this is like they're doing, oh, we're doing the prep school model, whatever. But like, come on, don't do that. Like, just let us dominate in high school, because you're not going to dominate in college right away, at least. So let us absolutely dominate in high school, and still make it difficult. Like, again, set the goals to be really, like, if you can absolutely go crazy in the game, you still have to do these specific goals. And maybe they're just bonuses. Like, they're bonuses to your tape score. And if you just absolutely rack up yards, like, that is what your actual score is going to be, because that's really what it was for NCAA 14, is that basically how well you performed is how many points you got. But now it's like, you have to do these specific moments. You have to hit a stiff arm. You have to throw a 50-yard pass. Like, what if you're a dual threat quarterback, and instead of you throwing a 50-yard pass, you run it? I guess that's fair. Like, people think, how can you test your 50-yard passing ability? But what if you throw a pass that's 49 yards? Nope, not good enough. Not good enough. I don't know. I just think it's so, like, those moments are so black and white. It just, I haven't really felt the need to play it again. Once you get into college, also the wear and tear, like, there gets to a point where if you like are getting the ball a lot, like let's say you're a workhorse running back, it'll get to the point where like you're in your junior year and you're completely out of health. Like, your health bar is like 0. And that means you just can't, you're just done. Like, your career is over, basically, because you won't recover from wear and tear. Of course, you can change it with sliders, or just turn off wear and tear entirely, which I think in that is like, for Road to Glory, like, that might be the only game mode where turning off wear and tear just makes total sense. Maybe even Ultimate Team. Like, Ultimate Team, there was a whole issue with, I think, Battering Ram and Aftershock, where literally the bronze ability of those, if you hit a player, it would basically make them unusable, which is crazy, because Ultimate Team doesn't have injuries, but that basically is doing injuries. Like, it's making the player stats so bad that they can't play the game. It got to a point where they had to just remove the ability. Like, do y'all play test this stuff? Do y'all play test these game modes? I don't know. Like, clearly they don't, and they just let the community do it. And then again, the perception, the game gets dragged through the mud. They finally fix the game. Now, overall, like, whatever, it's all, in the end, it's however you guys think of the game. Like, if you enjoy playing it, cool. I still enjoy playing the game. I'm going to keep playing it, even though I have my criticisms, and I think it's a good game. It's like I everyone sees like the ratings of like Angry Joe and Soft Drink, and they're like, the game is not good. And I'm used to the Anthony Fantano scale, where a 4 out of 10 is like just below average, not good. Like, I'm used to not goods from Anthony Fantano's scale being like a 0 or a 1 or less than that. Like, Soft Drink gave College Bowl 26 a not good, and it was a 4 out of 10, which I would give College Bowl 26 right now probably a 5 or 6, just because I still enjoy the game a lot. I'm also going to have bias. I have a ton of bias towards these games because I love college football. I want to play a college football video game. I have a ton of bias towards it. And the fact that it is more fun than Madden is just, I'll take it. Like, the bar is low. I get it. Totally get it. But also shout out to all those creators who are willingly critical of the game. And it's the same thing. Like, Soft Drink did hit it right on the nail. He was like, everyone's going to come out, the YouTubers are going to come out and say the game is amazing. And then once public perception turns against it, they'll start coming out with their issues. Because the biggest thing with a lot of these content creators, and I'm one of them, except I'm very small, is that their whole point when the game first comes out is that they want to make content about the new features and everything about it. So especially when they get early access, because they're given an early build, and it allows them to use like, hey, if there's any bugs, this is an early build, just letting you know. So they get access to it. They make a bunch of videos on it. They get a lot of views. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's good marketing for EA. But then the game comes out, and whatever build that was basically the final build. Maybe just a tiny tweak was made, but like it allows them to make content without having to be super critical of bugs because they're playing on an early build, even though the game comes out in a week. So like they're not gonna make really any changes in that time frame. So, and again, this is nothing against the creators for that, because they're like I know there's people who think like the people in the creative network are just EA shills. I do think there is a little bit of a like there is always going to be bias, because here's the thing: EA kind of controls the access. Like they're not paying these creators. Like a lot of people think like they're paying like Ben Kurt, or maybe I don't know, maybe they're paying him for something, but like maybe for like some of the work he did. Like I know he did a voiceover for like one of the gameplay trailers, whatever. Maybe they paid him for that. But like I don't think they're paying them for like good press, because that's, first of all it takes is just someone for them to get offered and they just say, "Oh my god, EA is paying us." They're not doing that. But what they are paying them with is access. Like if someone is super super critical of EA and they say it sucks and all that, they could take it away. I think Not the Expert had that happen to him, and I think they have since rebuilt a relationship together with EA and Not the Expert. But I think he mentioned like he got like kicked out for like being super critical, and that's the thing, is like EA controls that access. So it's like you kind of have to play ball. Now I'm not saying you have to make a good review, but you'll see the YouTubers and stuff when they make these initial videos, their whole point is trying to make content about like the new features or the gameplay or something like that, but they're not trying to like bug test it. They're not trying to find things, like find gotcha moments. But then you also have the other channels that are, their entire stick is finding bugs in the game and saying it's broken, like Ryan Moody. I don't really know the guy like that. I've watched some of his videos in the past when he would make fun of like Madden. I don't watch his videos, but if you do, cool. I do think he's kind of a cynical person. Like I think he has a bias against these games, against EA, because the thing is, a video game is going to have bugs, and if you slow down any play, you'll find that this block didn't trigger or this thing didn't do right. You'll totally be able to find those, and for some of those experiences, when it happens, it can like make you be like, what the heck, but there's so many plays in a game, unless it's happening all the time and it's breaking the game for you, like breaking the immersion, I don't really have that big of an issue with it. But again, there's people who have like a really big, their whole premise is that if the game is broken like that, if there's any issues with the logic and the blocking and stuff like that, they're going to hate it. And as I say, like everyone has their own opinions there. So that's going to be it. I've kind of just been rambling along about College Football 26. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a like if you like. If not, this has been Jagnal, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.